70s, Michael J. Fox was an unknown teenager. Then came the TV show Family Ties. Then came his hit film, Back to the Future. Financially, at least, Michael J. Fox had a solid future. Professionally, is he locked into light comedy? Well, next week, his new movie, Casualties of War, opens. And Lynn Shure tells us that it could take Michael's career in a direction he's been aching for.
Mommy, you look so pretty, like an Indian princess.
That's your father, dear.
When Family Ties debuted in 1982, the situation comedy was supposed to focus on the parents, a couple of 60s flower children facing life in the 80s. Instead, America fell in love with their son, the ultra-conservative Alex P. Keaton.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. You've been a wonderful sister. I'm gonna be a part of it. Get yourself a little something.
His idol was Richard Nixon. His favorite color, green, as in money.
I just don't think it would look good, me working for a non-profit organization, you know? The whole concept of non-profit is...
Born in a suit and tie, Alex, played by Michael J. Fox, was the teenage embodiment of greed and success.
When did you discover that you liked to make people laugh? Do you like to make people laugh?
Oh, I love to make people laugh. I think I always, growing up I was the fourth of 5 children. I was a small kid. It was either, funny or fight in a lot of cases. So the idea is always if you can make the big guy laugh before you can make him mad at you, it's a safer way to go.
Fox grew up mostly in Vancouver, a Canadian Army brat who played enough ice hockey to leave a couple of scars. Like the teen he played on TV, he is extremely close with his family. But he says his politics are to the left of Alex's. And he's older, 28, although his youthful face and 5'4" stature have always cast him in younger roles.
How much does it bother you to be called cute?
I don't mind being called cute, and I don't mind being called short. But you'd think after about 7 years that, cute, short Michael Fox, or the ever-cute Michael Fox, or the diminutive Michael Fox, or the pint-sized Michael Fox would get old if they're waiting for me to go, oh, please don't call me that. It's not going to happen because, I did some hard years on the playground. Isn't he cute?
Fox can shrug off his size because his performance is so good. Watching him, you are struck by his exquisite sense of timing. He says it helps that his audience knew his character so well, and his relationship with his sister Mallory, played by Justine Bateman.
So Mallory says something, so they cut to me. So I'm not in a big hurry to go blah, 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 blah. I'll let them cut to me, and I'll just kind of sit there for a second. And they're going to go, what's he thinking? And he kind of go like this and look back, and then now they're tittering, and he kind of... And now they're really laughing, and then you go, dishwater. And they go, boom!
I'm so glad that Nick and I are so compatible. We like the same things. We love spending every minute together. It's like we're one person, Like we have one mind.
Who's using it tonight?
Fox auditioned for the role of Alex Keaton after another teen heartthrob, Matthew Broderick, turned it down. But once Family Ties creator Gary David Goldberg cast the unknown Fox, it was magic that continued for 8 hugely successful seasons. Still, Michael J. Fox, the comic star, yearned to play a more dramatic role.
I think the episode that I think stretched him the most was this hour episode which we had done where he had to deal with the death of a friend.
I just don't get it, Mal. Why am I still alive?
And he was on stage for the whole hour. He had to make very quick and sudden turns from age 9 to age 17 and back to who he was.
I'm sure. God, I hated it when she did that.
I wish you all could be a
She'd call on me
like Alex.
in that old maid teacher's voice. Alex knows.
Alex knows.
Alex knows.
Alex knows.
I was 7 years old. You don't put that kind of pressure on a kid that age.
That episode won him an Emmy, one of 3 for his work on Family Ties. But the popular bachelor, known as Hollywood's Little Big Man, kept it all in perspective.
I don't believe this. This
This is great. I feel 4 feet tall.
Fox shifted into the movies with equally stunning success. In Back to the Future, he played Marty McFly, a teenager who travels back in time to find his parents. The film, a witty sci-fi adventure with the kind of homespun charm that is Fox's specialty, was a natural showcase for his graceful innocence and superb comic timing. It was a $200 million hit, the top-grossing film of 1985. Other movies were not so well received, as Fox continued to search for the right dramatic role. Today, he is heeding a more secure call from Hollywood.
We're sending you back to the future.
Fulfilling an earlier commitment, he's shooting Back to the Future 2 and 3 consecutively. The plot is top secret, and the set is closed to cameras. But the star let us ride along on his way to the studio.
When you did Back to the Future, you were shooting that at night after a full day of shooting Family Ties, right?
I would make the same ride that we're making right now from Paramount to Universal.
Well, as long as we're on the way to Back to the Future, can you tell me anything about the movies?
No, they actually make us sign a contract saying we won't.
It's your kids, Marty. Something has got to be done about your kids.
That hint about the sequel came at the end of the original. We learned it concerns Marty McFly's kids, which means Michael J. Fox has to play himself as an older man.
What do you look like as an older guy?
Kind of paunchy, a little bit paunchy. I look a bit like Dick Clark. Sorry, Dick.
Yes.
For all the opportunities the TV series has brought him, Fox is most pleased with the episode of Family Ties when he met actress Tracy Pollan, the woman with whom, in real life, he would fall in love.
We're told that when the two of you met on the set of Family Ties, they knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, people have said that to me.
Did you know?
No, we were both in other relationships at the time.
But what was funny was that my wife, the first time I think she had come to a run-through or just something, saw them on the set acting, and she came to me. It was the first time she'd seen Tracy, and she said, there's something going on between Michael and Tracy. And I said, no, they're actors. They're just out there. But everyone else saw it. And in that first episode where they meet, people have said that first time when they danced together, that it was just electric.
It was one of those things where a couple of years later, after she had been off the show, somebody said, did you know that Tracy and so-and-so aren't together anymore? And I went, oh, really? That's too bad.
Waited that long, did you?
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan were married last summer in Vermont, and in June they had a son named Sam. We can't show you family pictures because he adamantly protects their privacy.
Got a phone
Right
call.
now, he's involved in a lawsuit against one overzealous fan who threatened his family. But what's especially agonizing to Fox is how little time he gets to spend with the people who mean most to him.
What is a typical, if there is such a thing, day in the life of Michael and Tracy and Sam?
I get up and go to work. I come home, everybody's asleep. That's about it.
All right, now, the scene we're going to do here is the one, where you're walking with Meserve.
Besides shooting his movie sequels, Fox is polishing the dialogue for his about-to-be-released film, a Vietnam War picture called Casualties of War.
This is kidnapping, ain't it, Sarge?
Breathless, you ran up beside them.
Directed by Brian De Palma, it is deadly serious. Another chance for the man of comedy, determined to prove himself in a dramatic role.
I can't go. I'm going to be goddamn deserted.
My persona is such that people are comfortable with me and relaxed with me. And, that you go, okay, I know this guy. I'll let him be my representative in this movie, and I can relate to it. There are times when you have to say, okay, if you're comfortable with me and you're at ease with me, now let me take you into a very uncomfortable, very uneasy situation.
The movie, also starring Sean Penn, is based on a true story. Fox plays Erickson, a young soldier who faces a moral struggle when a Vietnamese girl is kidnapped and raped by the other men in his squad. The pressure to go along is extraordinary.
This is kidnapping, ain't it, Sarge?
I'll never forget that scene when he's outside the hooch and they're abducting the girl. And Michael just is walking back and forth, and he's hearing these sounds from inside the hooch.
Jesus, God.
And you can see on his face the torment and conflict of what he should do, and he's sort of over his head.
Sometimes you're just up against the wall, and you got to go, okay, am I a good guy, am I a bad guy? Do I do the right thing, or do I do the wrong thing?
You guys done this before? No.
Given your past roles, given your image, could you have played the bad guy? Could you have played the Sean Penn role in that movie?
Of course, I'd love to have. No, they're not going to offer it to me. No, they're not going to pay me money to do it. And no, no one's going to go and see it, probably. Would I do it? Absolutely, I'd do it.
But Michael J. Fox isn't complaining. Not with his drawing power at the box office. And Mr. Nice Guy hates to admit it, but he does enjoy the fame.
Do you ever drive by all by yourself at night and kind of stare?
No.
Come on, Michael.
I don't, but I will crane my neck. If I do happen to be going by, I will make sure I don't miss it. and if we have relatives or friends in the car, I will say, did you see that? It was pretty good.
Casualties of War is the biggest career risk Michael J. Fox has taken. His first movie since Family Ties went off the air. Leaving the security of that kind of home can be scary.
That show really meant a lot to you, didn't it? I mean, that really is what made you a famous person.
Absolutely. Beyond that, that show is what made me a self-confident person. It also set standards for me in terms of the quality of people that there is to work with.
It's time for him to move on and grow and test himself in other areas, which he is doing, which he wants to do. It's not like we had an actor who wanted to stay in the cocoon, you know?
Michael J. Fox!
What becomes hard is you get into an area where you're not risking anymore. And I think that's bad creatively.
It taught me how to kind of succeed gracefully. At this point, I feel so lucky that, I mean, anything that happens after this is gravy.
Very interesting fellow. Well, I'm curious as to what you thought of him personally.
That's the question everybody's asked me, and the answer is I really liked him. He is a decent, thoughtful, nice person, and I really respect him for keeping his private life private.
You tell him what he told you now that Family Ties is off the air about what he thinks is going to happen to Alex.
Well, with his tongue planted firmly in cheek, Michael Fox told me that Alex P. Keaton moves to New York. He gets recruited by the CIA, but he doesn't like that. He switches parties, becomes a Democrat, runs for Congress, where he then gets thrown out on an ethics charge.
That's a scenario. Thank you, Lynn.
Sure.